Hey guys, so Fossil Island is out now. There's tons of stuff. I'm just going to go over everything really quickly. I will go more into detail on another video most likely. But yeah, let's just get into this. So this first area that you land at is the camp. This is where you go right after finishing the quest. There's a few different things here to build. It's pretty easy. Then let's move up northwest to the hunter area. So along the east side or the east coast of the hunter area, there are crabs that you can kill there. They are 100 HP, 1 defense, 1 attack, 1 strength, all that stuff. So really high HP with low combat stats. Basically rock crabs, but with 2 times the HP. So there is 3 new farming patches over there, 3 new tree patches. They are for the hardwood trees, so you can plant teaks there. You can plant mahogany there. Mahogany gives 15k XP and teak give like 7.5k XP. The mahogany do take longer than spirit tree seeds, so it's going to be a very once in a while patch to do. So the hunter area, there is 2 new hunting methods. So first of all, there is the herbiboar, which takes 80 hunter, and it is 140k XP per hour at 85, increasing to 160k per hour at 95. While doing this, you basically track footsteps, and once you get to the end, you pick herbs off of a herbiboar. Higher your herb level, the better herbs you get. The second hunter training method is birdhouses. You need at least level 5 hunter, and the highest birdhouse is level 34 hunter. And basically it is kind of like farming. You set up a birdhouse, then you come back an hour or a few hours later, and then you check your birdhouse and you get a big chunk of experience. So it should be the fastest method from level 5 up to 34, possibly a little bit after 34 as well. And it's not the fastest as in XP per hour, but actual time that you spent on the island checking it, it should be extremely high. Just like farming trees is extremely high, because you just spend a couple of seconds checking the trap, and then you get a big chunk of XP, and then you can go do something else while you wait for it to fill up again. To make birdhouses, you basically just need the log, a hammer, a chisel, and then a clockwork. So there's a few different type of birdhouses ranging from willow, there's a willow one, there's a teak one, there is I think oak and normal log one. So teak is the highest. Unique thing on the hunter area is the new mutated zygomites. These are a slayer task from a few different of the masters, and they're normally a pretty bad task, but here there is a bit higher level mutated zygomites with a better drop table. So if you get them as a task, you can come here and get a little bit better loot, a little bit more XP. Then there is a prayer training method. It's not really a very good training method. It's more if you have a bunch of extra fossils, you can use them here to get some extra prayer experience. This is probably going to be useful for Ironmen who want to just be able to scrape as much prayer experience together as possible. So you just go to this big mushroom thing, and then you fill it with pyrophosphate calcite, and then your fossils, and you should get some prayer experience. On the coast here, there is a boat. You can use this boat to travel to the barge. You can use it to travel to the main camp in the center. You can use it to travel to the island out here with a bank and that you go diving from. So that is what we're going to dive into next. We're going to go into the diving and the underwater stuff. So if you're going to be going diving, you want to have a fishbowl helmet, a diving apparatus, and flippers. You don't need those, but those are definitely helpful. Flippers speed your travel up 2 times while you're down there. So they basically put you at run speed instead of walk speed. If you don't have them, you can only walk. And the fishbowl helmet and diving apparatus make it so that you have 100% oxygen all the time. Otherwise, it's going to slowly drop. And if it goes down to 0, you're going to be kicked out of the underwater place back up to the shore. So down in the underwater place, there are a few different activities. There's the agility/thieving training place. Basically, there are air currents or bubble currents, whatever, that push you around down there. And basically the goal is to get to an arrow that's pointing at a chest or a clam, and once you're there, you thieve it, and when you thieve it, you get mermaid tears and a bunch of experience. So basically you're just traveling around, trying to get around as fast as possible to thieve as much as possible from the chest. So if you know where the currents go, and you can use them to push you along, that would be helpful. Otherwise, if you're fighting against them, it's going to really hurt your time and your experience. And with the mermaid tears that you get while thieving, you can use those to buy fossils. You can use them to buy a trident. Another thing down here in the underwater place is drift net fishing. To do drift net fishing, you have to make drift nets. You make them out of 10 jute fibers on a loom, and then you set them up here, and then you can either do one of two things. Either one, you can push the fish into the net to get quicker experience, or two, you can just leave and fish will slowly accumulate in the nets. So basically it's like passive fishing experience, although the thing is the nets can only hold 10 fish. You can have 2 nets, and I think it gives around 100 to 200 experience per fish. So that's only counting both nets, that's like 2 to 4k XP there that you're going to be able to get passively. So it's not a big chunk of experience, so it's not a big deal. And while you're pushing them in, you want to have like some sort of a trident. So you can have a trident that you buy from the mermaid with mermaid tears, or you can have a trident that you get off the Kraken, I think, if you have the levels to wield it. Then there is 2 new patches down here, the seaweed patches. You can get seaweed seeds from the mermaid that sells the fossils and the trident with mermaid tears. The seaweed that you get here is kind of special because it counts as 2 normal seaweeds. So if you're doing like glass make spell, you're making molten glass with soda ash, or I mean the seaweed and buckets of sand, you can make like almost a full inventory of molten glass with just a few of these seaweeds. Next up, we'll look at the darker green part of the map that looks kind of like swampy. In this area, the main thing is woodcutting method down there. It is level 65 woodcutting to do it. At level 65, it's 65k per hour. That increases to 90k per hour at 99. It is definitely not AFK. And it is pretty dangerous. There's these swamp tar monsters that do tons of damage. I'm not sure if they're bugged right now or not, or if there's some sort of special armor that you need to wear to make them not do a ton of damage, but they absolutely destroy right now. So I'd be very careful if you're going to do that method. While chopping the things, when they get chopped down, you have to go and find the new location. They will not respawn in the same location until they've been chopped down in the other locations. So yeah, you have to run around through the swamp. You'll want a rake so you can get past like little vines, and then your axe you can use to cut down bigger vines. Also, at the very south end of the swamp area, there is a deranged archaeologist. He's basically just like the crazy archaeologist in the wilderness. Seems like he has the same attacks, about the same difficulty. So I imagine he has about the same kind of level of drops as well, maybe a little worse since he's not in the wilderness. Next, we're going to move on to the building that is north of the camp. So up here, there isn't really much you can do as far as I can tell. I think you can put fossils in here in the machines, and then they'll clean them for you or something like that. Also, there is a mushroom here that you can use to teleport, and there actually is 4 mushrooms around the island. You can find them by looking at the arrows on the map. There's one down in the swamp area. There is one southeast of the mining area. There is one at the north end of the hunter area. And then there's one here in this building. So you can teleport around to each one. You have to find each one before you can actually teleport to it, though. That is pretty much it for this building. Now let's move on to the mining area. So there is a few different little mining areas on the map with just regular ore. This spot with quite a bit of addy ore. Then over here at the mining area, the mining does take level 50 mining to do. So at level 50 mining, it's 40k XP per hour. Level 85, it's 75k XP per hour. At 99, it's 82k XP per hour. It is pretty dangerous. You can die very easily down here. It's more of a group mini game. You want to have a group here to get the best XP rates possible. There is going to be monsters that attack you and a bunch of stuff that does damage. In order to do it, you also need 180 kudos. You can make a decent amount of money from that. From what I've seen, it looks like it's probably about 500k to 1 mil per hour at higher levels. Just south of the mining area, there is actually some volcanic ash that you can mine, and the volcanic ash is pretty cool. You can use it with Harlander to make compost potions. With compost potions, you can use them on regular compost to turn them into super compost, or you can use the volcanic ash just plain without mixing it. You can use the plain volcanic ash on super compost to turn it into ultra compost, or you can use the volcanic ash on a bin of super compost, the bins that are next to farming patches. If you're like growing some super compost, use the volcanic ash on that, and it will turn all that into ultra compost as well. And ultra compost is basically a better version of super compost, what super compost is to regular compost, that's what ultra compost is to super compost. So it should give you more yield and a better chance of stuff not dying. Then there's 2 wyvern caves. So one wyvern cave is up in the hunter area. That is the task only wyvern area. The other wyvern area is just a little bit south of the main camp in the center of the map. So inside the wyvern dungeons, there are a few different wyverns. There is the ancient wyverns, and there is the taloned wyvern and the long-tailed wyvern. So the long-tailed and the taloned wyvern, those take level 66 Slayer to kill, and then the ancient wyverns are level 82 Slayer to kill. And so the wyverns have 3 pretty unique drops. So they drop granite boots, which are slightly better than runite boots. They're in between runite and dragon. They have 3 strength bonus. They drop a granite longsword, which is, its stats are just slightly worse than the dragon scimitar, although it is a tick slower than the dragon scimitar. And the 3rd new drop is the wyvern visage, or visage. You attach it to an elemental shield, and this shield is pretty cool. It's like a DFS, but for mage. It gives some mage accuracy bonus, along with some pretty decent defense bonuses. Its defense bonuses are pretty close to the DFS, but it does have a plus 15 magic defense bonus instead of just plus 10. And instead of strength bonus, it does have plus 15 magic attack bonus. And instead of shooting dragon fire, it actually shoots like a wyvern fire thing, which actually freezes opponents for 20 seconds. Has a 75 defense requirement, and the skill guide does not show a magic requirement as of right now. So that is pretty much it for this video. That is just a quick overview of everything, so I hope you guys enjoyed. And I should be putting out more videos of more in-depth of each part of the island eventually. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get to trying out all the different content. See you in the next video.